hang out and chill, enjoy the atmosphere. Now I'm a big boy, so when I like to take my small sliders, I like to get the biggest smalls. Double patties, bacon, cheese, you name it. Just a delicious burger. And I like to top it off with my favorite, the cookies and cream milkshake. There are 3 delicious flavors: milkshake, chocolate, vanilla, and cookies and cream. Small sliders. Simple on purpose. Y'all come on and slide through, baby. And let them know that you heard about them on Inside the Trenches with your boy Marlon Big Fave Favorite. Watch out there now.
Step Construction is here for you with a brand new offer. We now provide affordable storage sheds. Stop wasting your money on overpriced storage units and portable containers. Step Construction.
Of course, they got cuts to happen in the NFL. That's going to happen in the NFL this week. We'll get into that here in a second. But most importantly, Mario, we have some meaningful football going on, and it feels like October out here. It feels so good.
Heck yes, and Labor Day weekend's always really exciting for me, but I do have to say this is the first Labor Day in 5 years I'm going to have off. Not working at the flagship station at LSU anymore. I don't have to be in there the day after the game. I don't know about you, but I'm really excited for that, and I'm excited for a full slate of college football. You know, we got a little taste over the weekend with the New Mexico game, that almost being an upset, Nevada almost pulling an upset, Georgia Tech actually pulling off the upset in the most high-profile game. But I'm excited to go down to Pensacola next weekend. Those are my Labor Day plans. Maybe grill a little bit and watch a full slate of college football for the first time in a long time.
Now, that sounds like a winter chicken dinner, and I want to excuse myself from our listeners because I'm a little mixed up. If I'm not mistaken, Labor Day weekend is the weekend of the LSU game? Is that the first?
Yes.
So Labor Day is that Monday?
Yes, Labor Day is that Monday.
Okay.
And I do not have to work that day.
Good for you. So for our folks driving, the month of August, this whole summer just flew by for you too?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the first and second. So I'm excited because we will be in LSU's brand new studio in the stadium. Me, my brother Hunt Palmer, and Brandon Taylor doing our LSU Sports Radio thing. Mario was like, man, y'all got the pregame popping. Yes, the pre and post game.
Love listening to y'all, man. Y'all do a good job.
Appreciate that. I have fun. I'm excited for our guests that come on, and we got to get Flaugier to come on, premiere her new album. She had a video drop with Lil Wayne, Coach Mulkey.
Man, between you freestyling before the show and Flaugier, that I feel like that would be a good time.
Yeah, definitely. And she don't know like that. If that beat come on, I'm gonna catch a flow.
Hell yeah.
I gotta get her instrumental that came out of Beast. I want to flow on that one.
Yes, I would listen. That
Definitely.
Would be good.
Off top. Now you know who came out of Beast this weekend?
Mm-hmm.
Spencer Rattler, man, and in the Saints game versus the Tennessee Titans. He definitely came out a beast. 7 for 13, 105 yards. He averaged 8.1 yards a pass, had a touchdown, no sacks. 106.2. Now, Jake Hanger, to me, I saw a couple of good plays out of Jake.
Yeah.
One time he was getting rushed off the edge, both sides. He slid up in the pocket, made a nice pass. I thought for the plays that they called for him, they were a little, I don't want to use the word generic, but kind of vanilla, a little easy, no mistake, check down type plays.
Yeah, and Hainer played well. Let me first say Hainer had good moments and bad moments in the preseason, just like Spencer Rattler did. And he's his own quarterback, man. Definitely not as flashy, not as athletic, strong arm like Spencer Rattler. Plan where Jake was going to get the first quarter, then Spencer Rattler the second, then Hainer the third, and Spencer Rattler the fourth. And Rattler played most of the fourth quarter, but for whatever reason at the end of the game, they went with Jake Hainer. And Dennis Allen's reasoning was, we wanted to get the snap counts a little bit more even, so it's more of an even sample size before we made this decision for the backup quarterback. But you had a whole summer, a whole training camp, right, to make your evaluation, or a few preseason snaps really going to make that big of a deal. I feel like there's a little bit of sketchiness there. I would have loved to see Spencer Rattler finish the game because he did play well.
He did, and I don't want to make it seem like something like they were hiding him or anything like that. I mean, this is a kid. He got drafted mid-round. He's going to be on this team. He's, to me, a very viable backup to Derek Carr, and I know what a lot of Saints fans are thinking. But I will say this about Derek Carr. He hadn't had the best last, let's say, 3-4 seasons. His time in Oakland, I mean, he had Devontae Adams. We thought that was about to be a match made in heaven with his old teammate, and those numbers weren't as hot.
No.
Right? So But you do have a seasoned veteran, someone who had a brother drafted first pick overall to the new expansion team in Houston, Texas, back in the G.
And it was too little, too late after the Saints started the season. I believe 5-7. Yeah, 5-7 to start the year. So you want to see Derek Carr a little more even keel from the start. I think he takes a little bit too much hate from the fans, Big Fave. But honestly, I think he puts a lot of it, upon himself with some of the stuff he says in the media. And like I said, how he started the season. You just want to see a little bit more consistency, and that honestly is to be expected. I think with him being more comfortable here, and now with hopefully some improved play calling.
You know who he should really try to mimic? Because this guy, he really treats them. I don't want to say treat the media the right way, because Derek Carr treats the media. He's a very approachable guy. It's not that, but it's the questioning and the response that he handles well, and he really takes the mediocre role on close to good role. You want to guess what quarterback I'm talking about?
Jared Goff? No,
very close, but he's excellent. He's been playing much better. I'm talking about Kirk Cousins.
Yes.
You notice Kirk Cousins he's not saying anything to down his teammates. He's going to utilize
situation either way, but it happened.
If they do want to do that, unfortunately, I think the first guy they're going to call.
Oh, man.
Yes. As soon as they sign.
And that's why I brought up, you look across the league, most of the backups are experienced guys. They got Jacoby Brissett, who's like a Tyrod Taylor or a Josh McCown, somebody that's going to show up, or Josh Johnson, who's my teammate, who's still playing in the league for the Baltimore Ravens.
Nice.
He was in the league the year before me, and he's still a backup. He's knocking on 40. So shouts out to my boy Josh Johnson, still making these rosters, but, experienced backups. For Drew Brees, it was Mark Barnell. We had him in the locker room with us. That's why I brought that up, Mario, with the quarterback position.
For sure. I guess it just goes back to the I think the security with the starting quarterback. He is the starter, and I guess I just like the upside with the backup versus the experience a little bit more. I think if Spencer Rattler did go in, it would be kind of a situation like Jameis last year, right? Like you'd see some really good plays where he oozes some talent, and you'd see, frankly, some boneheaded plays. But the boneheaded plays would have to do with the inexperience. So in a situation like that, I don't mind the Saints taking the lumps if Spencer Rattler's going to get that valuable experience. So you give and you take, but I would just roll with the young quarterbacks.
Big time play called this weekend on a return from I don't want to mess his name up either.
Nakua, you got it.
Nakua.
Samson Nakua.
Samson Nakua.
Yeah, man. We were talking about it with Gus earlier. They played the highlight. That would have been the second kick six I ever did the play-by-play of. The first being Odell Beckham. I believe it was against UAB back in 2013.
All right.
And Samson got that close to it, man. To go 106 yards and not score is pretty wild. Like, props to the guy that tackled him. But that was a lot of fun, man. That was maybe the most interesting moment the Saints have had in the preseason since I've been doing the games in Spanish.
Three players that stood out to me. I would be remiss if I didn't bring this up lastly here. And we're going to get into cuts and rosters, final rosters on this team here in our next segment. Rico Payton, needs to make this team.
Yep.
Rose, linebacker.
Mike
Rose, at least practice squad. He's been hustling. And I think Samson Nakua. I don't know how likely that is, even if it's the practice squad, but showing you can be decent in return game like that. If not here, you make somebody's roster.
Yeah, I like Samson Nakua, man. I know he maybe doesn't have like the speed or the verticality of like an Equinemius St. Brown or of Shaq Davis, but I feel like he has some major football athleticism, right? Like in the first game, that over-the-shoulder catch he had to put the Saints in field goal range, that was some really good, I think, unique athleticism he showed off there. And then again, to take a missed field goal back 106 yards, like I'm not seeing too much production, but I'm still seeing a lot of potential in Samson Nakua. I hope he makes the team too.
Well, it's Inside the Trenches. It's your host, Marlon, Big Faith Favorite Wright. Joining me is my co-host, Mario Harraz. And when we come back, will this team make a major cut or a major trade here this week? I don't know. Let's discuss it right here on Inside the Trenches. And remember, y'all can come over here to Small Sliders, 1635 Barataria Boulevard, right here in Marrero, Louisiana. And get your slider, man. Come on, slide through. Baby, it's Inside the Trenches. I want to say thank you to all of our viewers, all of our listeners, everybody that check us out on New Orleans Talk Network, all of y'all who streams us. We appreciate y'all from the bottom of our hearts. And we want to thank our sponsors as well, baby. We right here, Small Sliders Live. Thank you, Small Sliders, for providing us with this spot to do our thing. We want to thank Montero Motors, Crown Car Wash. We want to thank Godwyn Realty.
Are you looking for your dream home? Well, if that's the case, you need to contact Joe Picolo at Godwyn Realty, right here in New Orleans. Joe can put you in your dream home right away. Joe Picolo and the folks over at Godwyn Realty put you in the house that you need. Even if you're looking to invest in some property, they'll do an excellent job with that as well. Contact Joe today at 504-251-8341. Again, that phone number is 504-251-8341. And also contact Joel at joel.godwynrealty.com. No need to dream anymore. Godwyn Realty will put you in the dream house of your reality. Hello, somebody. Hello, somebody. It's your boy Marlon, Big Favorite. And when I'm hungry, I like to make my way to Small Sliders, 1635 Barataria Boulevard, Marrero, Louisiana. Simple on purpose. When I tell you their burgers are delicious, have some great sauce on them, I'm telling you, when you're just hungry and just need to grab a quick bite, this is the perfect place for you. Small Sliders. The customer service is nice. It's somewhere you can bring the family, hang out and chill, enjoy the atmosphere. Now I'm a big boy, so when I like to take my Small Sliders, I like to get the biggest smalls. Double patties, bacon, cheese, you name it. Just a delicious burger. And I like to top it off with my favorite, the cookies and cream milkshake. There are 3 delicious flavors: milkshake, chocolate, vanilla, and cookies and cream. Small Sliders. Simple on purpose. Y'all come on and slide through, baby. And let them know that you heard about them on Inside the Trenches with your boy Marlon, Big Favorite. Watch out there now.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
Now New Orleans has a choice. Download the New Orleans Talk Network app for your mobile device or listen at www.NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com.
Hello, somebody. It's the host of Inside the Trenches podcast, Marlon, Big Favorite. Did you know Small Sliders had an app? You can go to your Google Play Store or your Apple Store right now, download the Small Sliders app in Marrero, and order your food right now. You want to get a number 2? Well, slide through 1635 Barataria Boulevard in Marrero. Small Sliders, simple on purpose. Are you a student athlete looking to take your career to the next level? Look no further than Conquer Sports Pros. That's right, Conquer Sports Pros. Our team of experts will get you guys on the right path.
I want to say thank you to all of our viewers, all of our listeners, everybody that check us out on New Orleans Talk Network, all of y'all who streams us. We appreciate y'all from the bottom of our hearts. And we want to thank our sponsors as well, baby. We right here, Small Sliders Live. Thank you, Small Sliders, for providing us with this spot to do our thing. We want to thank Montero Motors, Crown Car Wash. We want to thank Godwyn Realty.
Are you looking for your dream home? Well, if that's the case, you need to contact Joe Picolo at Godwyn Realty, right here in New Orleans. Joe can put you in your dream home right away. Joe Picolo and the folks over at Godwyn Realty put you in the house that you need. Even if you're looking to invest in some property, they'll do an excellent job with that as well. Contact Joe today at 504-251-8341. Again, that phone number is 504-251-8341. And also contact Joel at joel.godwynrealty.com. No need to dream anymore. Godwyn Realty will put you in the dream house of your reality. Hello, somebody. Hello, somebody. It's your boy Marlon, Big Favorite. And when I'm hungry, I like to make my way to Small Sliders, 1635 Barataria Boulevard, Marrero, Louisiana. Simple on purpose. When I tell you their burgers are delicious, have some great sauce on them, I'm telling you, when you're just hungry and just need to grab a quick bite, this is the perfect place for you. Small Sliders. The customer service is nice. It's somewhere you can bring the family, hang out and chill, enjoy the atmosphere. Now I'm a big boy, so when I like to take my Small Sliders, I like to get the biggest smalls. Double patties, bacon, cheese, you name it. Just a delicious burger. And I like to top it off with my favorite, the cookies and cream milkshake. There are 3 delicious flavors: milkshake, chocolate, vanilla, and cookies and cream. Small Sliders. Simple on purpose. Y'all come on and slide through, baby. And let them know that you heard about them on Inside the Trenches with your boy Marlon, Big Favorite. Watch out there now.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
Now New Orleans has a
Yeah, I like
Inside
it.
the trenches, baby. Yeah. Mario Horaz in the building with me. You know, we enjoying ourselves over at Small Sliders. I had my boy Nardi come through, one of my defensive line brothers from West Jeff, coming through, get him a small slider. Y'all can do the same thing. Remember, we're right here at 1635 Barataria Boulevard in Marrero. We're going to be here till 8 o'clock on air, and thank y'all so much for tuning in. Now, we promised to talk defense for the Saints, and, of course, defenses, including special teams. Matt Hayball, punter. Blake Groupie, kicker. Zach Williams, long snapper. Out is Lou Headley along with Charlie Smith. These two guys, especially Charlie Smith, they didn't nail like a 80-yard or something crazy.
Yeah.
But I understand, how that rolls for him, Mario.
Yep, I would agree with that. I think the decision to sign Lou Headley at all was an interesting one, man. Like, Morstead was taping off a little bit towards the end. I know he was a legend here, but going from him to Gilligan, I somewhat understood. Honestly, going from Gilligan to Headley, I never really did. And Hayball's had the better preseason. It's not like he's lit it up, but just has more hang time, just seems to be a more sound punter than Lou Headley. So I definitely would go with him there. And then Groupie, I think it's good that Groupie had himself a good preseason, man. Making a 50-plus yarder, making about a 35-yard field goal, I believe it was yesterday. That was good to see. He had some good moments last year, man. Unfortunately, the most memorable moment for me was the kick in Green Bay with Jameis Winston taking him down the field there and him missing a makeable kick, not an easy one, 40-plus in the win in Green Bay, but still one he could have made, and just has to be a bit more consistent, has to come through in moments like that. But I still like the potential with Blake Groupie. I think he could be a good kicker. The punting situation, I'm a little more unsure about.
Yeah. And then, of course, we have the thing with the specialists across the board, the new kickoff rule.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that was one strange thing to watch this preseason, but I mean, I don't see it being nothing crazy to adjust.
Well, I don't know, man. I feel like you'll see a little bit more like creativity with that. Like maybe you'll see some pitching the ball backwards. You'll see some like reverse field blocks. Like I think you'll see special teams coordinators, including Darren Rizzi on the Saints, kind of utilize more strategy when the regular season comes. I think preseason they kept it a little vanilla, right? You didn't see too much, but you still saw a lot less touchbacks, and that was the whole point of that rule. So hopefully the return game will be a benefit for the Saints, man, because some teams definitely have the athletes to make it that way.
Now, one of the areas we thought really beefed up this offseason and even last year is the defensive line. On their roster, you're going to have Cam Jordan, Carl Granderson, Chase Young, who, man, that was one heck of an addition. Boy, he brought something different to that defense. Isaiah Foskey, Peyton Turner, Nathan Shepard, Brian Bruzy, Khalid Saunders, Christian Boyd. Now, on the outs, you have Nico Lanslow. I think Jeff Cutt, wasn't he on the team last year, made the practice squad?
Yeah, he was on the practice squad. And Nick Lalos is somebody who always plays really well in preseason. But
he does, bro.
Buried a little on the depth chart there. I like what they have at D-line. Like, you got to create more pass rush, especially on third down when you're not in blitz packages, just getting pressure with your front four. But I love what the Saints have at defensive line going into the year, man. And if you're ready for this analogy, here live from Small Sliders in Marrero, Chase Young is like the queso. And the rest of the defensive line is like the Smalls combo. Already really, really good as is, but adding in Chase Young just takes it to a whole new level. Just like the queso takes the food here to a whole new level at Small Sliders. So I think having him and also adding in Willie Gay makes this good Saints defense potentially a great Saints defense. And those two guys could really be X factors for New Orleans this year.
Rick, if you're listening, boy, that was one heck of a shout out to Small Sliders Marrero. Boy, I like that. That was a good analogy right there.
Love the queso.
The queso, like the D-line's already good. Bringing it, it's like bringing the queso to the fries. I like that. I think I'm going to get that combination after.
In all seriousness, though, man, he's looked awesome in preseason. Like, it's the same player we saw at Ohio State that we thought was on a crash course against Joe Burrow in the championship there. But whenever he's played in the NFL, he's been really, really productive, man. So, again, if he can stay healthy, there's so many ifs with this Saints team, but he can really make a big difference in the win column, I think.
No doubt. Now, when you look at that linebacking core, I just think leaders, right? When you look at DeMario Davis, Pete Warner usually leads the team in tackles. Willie Gay helped lead his team to a Super Bowl. You have Hudson and Orji, who are two guys that flew around in the preseason. Now, I'm a little bummed about this. DeMarco Jackson may be out. I thought he's someone who's been hanging on for a while. Mike Rose, I mentioned, is somebody you would want to keep around on the practice squad. Monty Rice and Isaiah Stallbird are two guys that may make other rosters. And then on IR, you have Jalen Ford. Do you like that on the roster guys lineup?
I think, give or take, like, not a bad final roster there. I could maybe switch out Hudson with DeMarco Jackson, who's had a really good preseason. But you can't keep Orji off the team at this point. That sounded wrong. But you can't keep him off the team. He's somebody who's really productive going back to his college days, star player at Vanderbilt, which that sentence you don't utter very much, right? But he was really productive, was one of the best defensive players in the SEC, and has been a bubble guy for the Saints throughout his career, you know, on and off the practice squad. But I think now he's really benefited from the experience in the NFL, and he's somebody who can contribute for the Saints this season.
Now, when you look at the Saints' safety room, I know we were hoping we would have got Justin Simmons. That would have really, brought a lot of flash to that secondary, but now he's gone to Atlanta. But on the out, you have Hugo Amadi, Roderick Teamer, Lawrence Johnson, and Mildred Bradford. Out of those guys, who would you keep on the practice squad?
Probably Amadi. Amadi's somebody who's already logged a lot of snaps for the Saints, has looked kind of comfortable whenever he's played, or looks like he belongs, I guess, preseason and regular season. So not too sure about that cut. Everything else there looks kind of good. And it looks big fave, like they're going to do safety opposite of Tyrann Mathieu, kind of by committee. Like Jonathan Abram, Will Harris, Howden, all those guys have different skills, but they all kind of complement each other. And frankly, as much as we, criticize Dennis Allen as a head coach, I really trust him as kind of like of somebody who's in charge of the defensive personnel, because I think he'll do a good job of mixing and matching those guys opposite of Tyrann, and the Saints will have one of the better pass defenses in the league, like they did last year.
When you think of a guy like Will Harris, we get him from Detroit. he just had a successful playoff run. I think Dennis Allen's whole MO, let me bring some guys in that are accustomed to winning. The last 2 years, Khalid Saunders right off of a Super Bowl. Then he goes back the next year, gets his teammate Willie Gay right off of a Super Bowl. A long playoff run, very successful defense. Plus, you know how great of a coach Dan Campbell is because you guys coach together. You go get a player from him. So I just think that the Saints, as you mentioned, defensively has been really steadfast.
Yeah, and on talking about Atlanta, in my head, I'm hoping Justin Simmons can be like their Jarius Byrd. You remember that?
Yeah,
How pumped the Saints were to sign him?
Yeah.
This reminds me a lot of that. Like somebody who was really productive with one franchise, but, getting a little up there in age. And you know as well as I do, man, just because you were good in one system doesn't mean you're going to be good in another system. And they're replacing Ryan Nielsen over there. He goes to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I'm just saying I wouldn't be shocked if Justin Simmons isn't quite as good as he was in Denver. The extreme scenario is he's their version of Jarius Byrd, but all I'm saying is let him play a game first before we crown Atlanta as like the no-fly zone secondary.
Yeah, Atlanta, I think Gus said that earlier. Yeah, they're the number one team. They're the winners of the NFC South.
NFC South leading NFC South leading Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, preseason. That's funny. One of the areas I think solidified on his entire team is his secondary. And when you start looking at the cornerbacks, that's the group that there's a lot of stock, right? Like every trade talk you talk about, we need to fortify the offensive line. How we going to do it? We got to get, trade Marshawn. We could possibly get some out of Parsons and Debo. These are some solid players. Marshawn Lattimore, Parsons and Debo, Alante Taylor, Kool-Aid, McKinstry, and, of course, Rico Payton, man, who's been very impressive this preseason. And on the out, you have Samir Jean-Charles, Rajon Wright, Mac McCain, Caleb Ford Dentman. Out of those guys I just mentioned, who makes the practice squad?
Jean-Charles and Wright have both had excellent preseasons, man, and really all those guys you just named did pretty good in those 3 preseason games. That's definitely the strength of the team. Like, if the Saints are going to overachieve, win some games, make the playoffs again this season, it's going to be in large part thanks to their cornerbacks. And honestly, man, that's independent of Marshawn Lattimore, who has not really stayed on the field, missing 10 games plus each of the last 2 seasons. But love bringing in Kool-Aid, man. Kool-Aid, Alante Taylor, Paulson Adebo, that's a pretty formidable cornerback group there. And hopefully Marshawn does stay healthy, and obviously that brings you to the next level.
Yeah, it does. If you can have these guys stay healthy defensively, I don't see a lot of teams scoring a lot of points on the Saints this year. Now, can we have an offense that produce 40 points a game or at least 35 points a game? I think your defense can hold teams under 21 points, especially if the offense is clicking on all 3 or 4 cylinders, whatever you're driving in, But at the very end of the day, you have a team in the New Orleans Saints who could be an interesting story. You have Cam publicly putting it out there. I'm a spiritual brother, speaking into existence.
Heck yeah.
Right? And came on this show, spoken into existence, went on NFL Network, spoken into existence. ESPN National speaking into existence, both locally and just speaking it. The Super Bowl is here, right? Cool. There isn't a clear path there for New Orleans, but if you have some impressive wins, maybe fight a Kansas City, win your division, that could happen. But, we do have a team that could be playoff worthy. There's a couple of things they're looking for, Mario, as we wrap here. A team that can, A, win that first game, and B, be playoff worthy.
Yeah, just be competitive, man. Just get back to the postseason. It's been 3 years now since Drew Brees retired. You've missed the playoffs in each year. So just starving for some competitive football, man. Once you get into playoffs, anything can happen. I don't think this team's primed to win a championship right now, but you want to see them be competitive, and you want someone like Cam Jordan to have that mentality.
Yes, indeed. It's Inside the Trenches. It's your host, Marlon, Big Fave Favorite. We rocking live here, baby. Small Sliders, 1635 Barataria Boulevard in Marrero. Y'all don't go anywhere. We'll be back.
diabetes, high blood pressure,
I want to say
anxiety
thank
meds.
you to all of
Everyone's on
our
them. If you're a
viewers,
50-year-old
all of
male,
our
maybe
listeners,
you're
everybody
porky,
check
you
us
may
out
have
on New
type 2
Orleans Talk
diabetes. $1
Network,
million
all of y'all
of
who streams us. We appreciate y'all from the bottom of our hearts. And we want to thank our sponsors as well, baby. We right here, Small Sliders Live. Thank you, Small Sliders, for providing us with this spot to do our thing. We want to thank Montero Motors, Crown Car Wash. We want to thank Godwyn Realty.
Are you looking for your dream home? Well, if that's the case, you need to contact Joe Picolo at Godwyn Realty, right here in New Orleans. Joe can put you in your dream home right away. Joe Picolo and the folks over at Godwyn Realty put you in the house that you need. Even if you're looking to invest in some property, they'll do an excellent job with that as well. Contact Joe today at 504-251-8341. Again, that phone number is 504-251-8341. And also contact Joel at joel.godwynrealty.com. No need to dream anymore. Godwyn Realty will put you in the dream house of your reality. Hello, somebody. Hello, somebody. It's your boy Marlon, Big Favorite. And when I'm hungry, I like to make my way to Small Sliders, 1635 Barataria Boulevard, Marrero, Louisiana. Simple on purpose. When I tell you their burgers are delicious, has some great sauce on them, I'm telling you, when you're just hungry and just need to grab a quick bite, this is the perfect place for you. Small Sliders. The customer service is nice. It's somewhere you can bring the family, hang out and chill, enjoy the atmosphere. Now I'm a big boy, so when I like to take my Small Sliders, I like to get the biggest smalls. Double patties, bacon, cheese, you name it. Just a delicious burger. And I like to top it off with my favorite, the cookies and cream milkshake. There are 3 delicious flavors: milkshake, chocolate, vanilla, and cookies and cream. Small Sliders. Simple on purpose. Y'all come on and slide through, baby. And let them know that you heard about them on Inside the Trenches with your boy Marlon, Big Favorite. Watch out there now.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
Now New Orleans has a choice. Download the New Orleans Talk Network app for your mobile device or listen at www.NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com.
Hello, somebody. It's the host of Inside the Trenches podcast, Marlon, Big Favorite. Did you know Small Sliders had an app? You can go to your Google Play Store or your Apple Store right now, download the Small Sliders app in Marrero, and order your food right now. You want to get a number 2? Well, slide through 1635 Barataria Boulevard in Marrero. Small Sliders, simple on purpose. Are you a student athlete looking to take your career to the next level? Look no further than Conquer Sports Pros. That's right, Conquer Sports Pros. Our team of experts will get you guys on the right path to your student athlete journey in life. That's right, we have every position in football you need, and we also help out with other sports. At Conquer Sports Pros, you have everything from a list of consultation, training, and also media training. Yeah, that's right, when you take your career to the next level, play college and hopefully pro, you'll get lots of interviews. Call Conquer Sports Pros today. You can reach them at 504-319-6672 or visit marlonfavorite.com for more information. Hello, somebody.
Step Construction is here for you with a brand new offer. We now provide affordable
over there at John Curtis. John Curtis takes on East Jeff. And, of course, we had the whole Higgins squad, coaching staff and all, Mario. They take on Riverdale. As the week progressed, those Friday nights. And this is the Jamboree. This is what gets it going. A game that's going to be dear to our hearts, Mario, is the Ed Daniels Classic. Yes. Rest in peace to Ed Daniels, legend in our area, just left us. And, I really love the love that he's getting across the city on the billboards. A lot of games are being honored behind him, and that really helps all of our hearts heal. Brother Martin, John Eric, this is all going to be at Archbishop Shaw as well. They ball out, and then I want to say, let me go down here a little bit.
Got some bangers on the schedule
there,
man.
Got some bangers, man. I'm trying to see. I want to say Shaw takes on St. Aug. Yeah, so it's John Eric, Brother Martin, and then Shaw, St. Aug. You have Edna Carr Landry. Couple of more games to look at here. Across the city, West St. John, Ben Franklin. So, yeah, man, it's so much to be excited about. Let me see if they have anything on here for that Saturday. And, yeah, McDonough 35 take on Warren Easton. That should be a good game. The New Orleans Saints homeschool Saints.
New Orleans homeschool Saints. I'm curious about what's going on there.
Take on FCHSA. Me too.
Homeschool high school team.
Wow, that's.
Does Dad provide the equipment and the helmets and the shoulder pads?
Man, it's I guess it's something definitely to take a look at. But I do
in all
find it very
seriousness, though,
interesting.
man, you got some bangers there, and shout out to Ed Daniels. I know they're naming the field in Kenner, Musbertolino, which is where I played my playground ball. What's up? Actor Ed, it's going to be Ed Daniels Field now. The Saints did the tribute for him at the game on Sunday. Actually had a bouquet of flowers at his old spot in the press box. So Ed will be missed. I'm sure the high school games this weekend are going to honor him, and you'll see some good Jamboree action before we get into the regular season.
Yeah, that I'm definitely excited about, man. He's someone who's going to be truly missed, and he left us doing something he loved. Was out there covering the Saints, and
yes, sir.
He's going to be missed, man. So rest in peace, Ed Daniels. But shouts out to all of the high school football players out there doing their thing. In their scrimmages, I've been checking out a couple of our players from Conker's scrimmages. They've been balling out, and I look forward to Jamboree Week. What you got there, Mario? Look like we have a Saints player out there retweeting something.
Yeah, checking the live Twitter feed here. Alante Taylor looks like he's fanning the flames a little bit with Spencer Rattler, who we were talking about in the last segment. Alante Taylor tweets at Spencer Rattler, "Yeah, all over my feed, boy. Yeah, I could say on the radio, right? Yeah, look good running that offense." Again, not telling any lies, but does a teammate saying that on Twitter, does that make Derek Carr maybe feel a certain way?
I don't know, man, but snowman, red bean.
I just found a loophole.
Yeah, and that's how them boys from Tennessee talk. I'm telling you, boy, that's like, look at that little bit. We say, hey, say bit, you know what I'm saying, a little shortcut. But it's all, it's New Orleans terminologies for I'm happy for you. We proud of you. Keep up the good work.
Yes.
But, yeah, you have to just keep it New Orleans, put a little respect on it, Birdman with the K on the respect, because this kid came out there. I mean, he was able to show us what he was capable of doing in games 1. 2, he took a little step back, lost the starting job, and then boom, 3, hey, it ain't nothing to it but to do it. So, yeah, man, I totally understand the love that he's getting.
Yeah, and not to deviate here from the topic, we're in the last segment here, but I need to get your take on this. Did you see Josh Hart's comments when he was on the podcast with Lil Wayne about New Orleans? He basically said no NBA player is ever excited to get traded to New Orleans. So those were his exact words.
No.
And yes, I'm kind of surprised you haven't seen it, man. There's a lot of hate from New Orleans people towards Josh Hart right now.
Oh man, and he's in New York now. Huh?
Yeah, he's with the Knicks now, and I went on a little diatribe on Gus's show. You might not agree with me here. This might be a hot take, but Lil Wayne, legend of music, a legend of the city. He's done a lot for the community. He'll always be one of my favorite rappers. But when it comes to being a sports fan, screw him. He hates on New Orleans teams a lot. A couple years ago, he was on record saying the Saints should have their Super Bowl title stripped. because of the Bounty Gate, which,
Oh,
come on,
man,
Lil
Toon,
Wayne.
come on,
I
Toon.
get that you're not a Saints fan. You grew up rooting for the Packers. That's cool. But you know what that title means to the city of New Orleans. Why would you say that? And then for what it's worth, I had heard that he owes the Pelicans a ton of money for courtside seats from like 2009 that he never paid for. And that's why you've never seen him back in the stadium.
Oh,
and
man.
he's been repping a lot of other NBA teams. So the main thing I'm mad at him about is the Super Bowl thing. But my point is, Josh Hart was saying that to impress Lil Wayne. Like, you've seen Josh Hart, how hard he's repped New Orleans, how much he
Yeah.
loved being here. That goes against the grain, but to me, it looks like he was just trying to impress Lil Wayne. So I wanted a little diatribe against him there, because he's always hating on New Orleans sports.
Yeah, it was crazy when we were on our Super Bowl run. He was like, "Oh man, I'm telling you, Brett Favre going such and such. That's a Green Bay Packer." And man, we did, boy. That was crazy, man. And look, I get it. I mean, the dude has a Green Bay logo tatted on his thighs. And when Green Bay had won that Super Bowl back in 2010, I was at that Lil Wayne concert after. Him, Drake, Busta Rhymes, all of them hit this. They did Look at Me Now, like at least 10 times. It was crazy.
I've heard some stories from Matt Flynn. He came to the studio at OTB a lot. He was there that night. I heard some stories, man.
Yeah, we had a blast. I was on stage with them after a little while. It was cool, man. I really enjoyed it. Shout out to my homie Jerry Hughes, played with the Houston Texans now. He was out there. That boy Darren McFadden, who was kicking it in that thing, man. Yeah, it was shouts out to Toon. Toon showed LSU some love, you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
so
he
I'm gonna give him a pass.
He went on game day once for like the Alabama game in an LSU jersey, but it's mostly the pro sports I was talking about there. But hey, man, to each his own, I guess. It was just kind of messed up for Josh Hart to say that.
Yeah, he from the 17th ward. Like, you walk out your house, you can see the Superdome.
Yeah.
And I'm not giving him any help in this area because he could show us a little more love. But, you know, he did come up in New Orleans when the team was trash.
That's true.
So growing up, it was like, so that's kind of like my thing, too. Like, I was almost like a Cowboys fan by default because, I mean, we didn't really get any of the – unless you had big-time cable, you couldn't catch any of the Saints games. So the only thing that was coming on regular TV in this area was the Cowboys.
Exactly, and that's why I love rooting for the Pelicans so much, man. I don't mind kind of paying the penance and going through what the last 20 years have been. They've been the worst franchise in the NBA, like, not an opinion. They haven't even made it past the second round. But when it comes to the Saints, you know, there was 30 years of misery before I was alive. I've had it mostly good with the Saints, so I'm willing to do the same for the Pelicans, man. And maybe my kids will be around when they have some success and at least make it to the conference finals.
Yes, indeed, man. Well, we're excited, y'all. Football season is back. Are y'all ready for some fantasy football? As we wrap here, I'm excited that CeeDee Lamb signed his deal because that's definitely who I'm going after first. Lord, let me have one of them top picks. Quarterback-wise, okay, first and foremost, my order is going to be receiver, probably QB, receiver, running back, receiver. Then I start working on, like, you know, best available.
Yeah, that's a good strategy. I'd maybe mix and match the quarterback and running back there. But I will say, kind of my hot take, my strategy my cheat sheet for the fantasy football season includes Malik Neighbors and Jaden Daniels. Call me an LSU homer if you want, but I think both of those guys, when it comes to fantasy, will produce right away. And people might tell me, you know, you're reaching, you like the LSU guys, but I just think they're both going to put up numbers right away.
Yeah, I'm definitely – my quarterback I'm going to get is Jaden Daniels.
Yes.
Because I'll be able to get a worthy quarterback later on. But I'm going to get him. He's going to produce. I don't think Lamar Jackson production is high as years before because of Derrick Henry being there now. So there's a couple of things that defense, I'm going to forget all about drafting the defense, then go get somebody because that don't matter. The biggest thing is I want to get like a Hall from the Jets at my running back, you know, maybe like a Bijan Robinson from Atlanta. I think he's going to have a good year. But, man, I can't wait. We draft next week. Y'all hit us up at BigFave504. Remember, y'all can go to the ESPN's Twitter page at ESPN NOLA. Be sure to go to that ESPN1003.com app, too. Check out our stuff on our on-air deal. You can be sure to hear our, different episodes from the past, and definitely this one. This is going to be a funny one right here. But we appreciate y'all for all that y'all do for the show. But, yeah, Mario, it's football season, brother. Ready to kick it off. We'll be back here next Monday. Shouts out to all our sponsors, Godwyn Realty, Shouts out to Montero Motors, baby. My man over there. Y'all look up Montero Motors. Get y'all a nice whip for the low, baby. And there's always small sliders showing us love. Got our small sliders packs over there. And remember, y'all, come on over here. You can just write Big Fave on the paper if you want to. You do that because I got to get y'all some more cards. Y'all can at least get y'all a free slider on me with the purchase of a shake. It's Inside the Trenches. He's Mario Harraz for New Orleans Talk Network, the crew over there, and all our family over at ESPN New Orleans. We thank you for everything that you do for the show, and we will be back next week. Hello, somebody. It's ESPN New Orleans.